Welcome to NYC Chat Room, and tonight we are going to discuss the interviews that have been released featuring R. Kelly and Joycelyn Savage and RKELLY, whatever her last name is.
Interview you'll see only on CBS this morning. The two women told us there is nothing inappropriate about their arrangement with the 52-year-old singer.
They were interviewed by GAYLEKING, as we all know. We've seen the clips all day long. If you're like us,
the past couple days,
yeah,
we've been seeing the memes. We've been seeing the skits.
Yeah.
We've been seeing
remixes.
The remixes of.
You don't want to believe it. At this point, we briefly pause the interview to give Kelly a moment.
We're just gonna lend our 2 cents on the whole situation. So don't forget to like, comment, subscribe. Let us know what your thoughts are. It may not be the same views as us, but we welcome all.
I tend to play devil's advocate
All thoughts.
on these matters. So be prepared to get mad at me. I'm not trying to make anybody mad. I just say what I feel. I mean, and if you disagree with me,
it's fine.
I respect it.
Yeah. So we're gonna start the first part where they showed Gayle sitting down with R. Kelly. Mm-hmm. At first, he sat down and tried to be all, kind of, jovial.
Nice guy,
yeah, like, I'm nice, I don't know what these people are talking about. It's all lies. It's pretty much what he's trying to say, that everybody's lying on him.
It's one big conspiracy.
All these women in the interviews of that surviving R. Kelly are liars. His ex-wife is trying to tear him down as a man. And then he goes on to say how he just wants to be there. He just wants to have a relationship with his children.
Yeah.
That's all he's trying to do in life. Now, mind you, over the years, how many times can we say on our hands we've heard R. Kelly mention his children?
I didn't even know he had kids or a wife until she was on that reality show.
Right. And they were married for
13
years?
Yeah.
13 plus years that they were married. And he has never mentioned the fact that he had this wife and the fact these children. And it's 3 children that they have. And I don't remember him talking about these kids once.
No.
So that was the first major, like, Kelly, let's not do this, okay? And then
they were a useful pawn, I think, in the moment.
Yeah.
Say, like, I'm not even worried about my pocket.
People always do that. They always want to bring up their kids. Like, I just do this for my kids. I robbed this bank for my children.
Kids are a very convenient excuse, like,
they are.
Boss, ain't gonna work today, my son. Meanwhile, your son is, like, at school.
Right.
People just, what
people
a convenient
use them for
excuse.
anything. Like we said, you rob a bank, you rob a convenience store. I did it for my children, okay? My children needed diapers. That's why I did it.
Yeah.
So pretty much that's what R. Kelly is trying to use. That he's just trying to, be a father to his children, and people are trying to tear him down.
Yeah.
People are trying to. What was the wording he used? He is being assassinated. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
He is buried alive, but he's still alive. That's what he said. Okay. He is being buried alive, but he is still alive. So we out here trying to assassinate R. Kelly, and he has nothing to do with it.
Yeah.
It is his stance. He's trying to play victim. R. Kelly is, I don't know the correct terms, if it's a narcissist or a sociopath or if it's a combination of both.
For me, I don't even want to give him a fancy name. He's just a world-class freak. A sexual freak,
Pedophile.
deviant. He is a control freak.
Manipulator.
He's a freak in every sense of the word.
Yeah.
For me, this interview, they focused on the surviving R. Kelly allegations. Gayle didn't really go too much into like the previous Aaliyah allegations.
And I think they weren't allowed to.
That's likely.
Yeah, because that publicist or that guy, he was right there.
He was there, but did he have control? Because R. Kelly was bugging out. He came in and was kind of like...
Yeah, I think he was the one who kind of pulled him to the side, like, remember the script.
Yeah.
Remember the script. Stick to the
When
script.
he went rogue, when he was like...
Yeah, as soon as he stood up, he was like, we need a minute. We need a minute.
They were like...
Yeah.
like,
they were trying to bring him back because he was about to go left.
What was that they was blotting him with? He was glowing a little bit, though.
Yeah, I think it was probably like setting powder or something.
Maybe it's a turn, let us see what...
They were like
Yeah,
getting
he
on
had
him.
that chocolate glow.
Right, but he was shining.
Yeah.
Okay, and
It
that's
was a good shine though.
I don't know. I think that was a guilty shine.
But I mean, I feel like after they addressed those allegations from the documentary, they focused on these two women, Joycelyn. How did she pronounce it? Jocelyn or Joycelyn? Joycelyn. And Azriel.
Yeah.
Azriel was the darker skinned one with the shorter hair. She was the one from the documentary where the parents were throwing the rocks
at the studio
window. They were trying to bust her out of there, and they just wanted just let us toss you and let's take you home because she was supposedly locked up there last thing.
She was the one that they said she went to a hotel to see R. Kelly without their knowledge originally.
Yeah.
And then they went there and got her back.
Yeah, and the sister had the whole elaborate story about this kidnapping, and she was turned out into the alley. That story was kind of fishy. I'm not gonna lie. Like, you withheld from your parents that your sister was abducted pretty much because you were afraid they were gonna kill. Now you're so comfortable with going on TV and talking about it.
Right.
So there are some like but I don't really personally give a damn. I'm just being honest about those two young ladies. They were so rude to, especially Azriel was very rude to Gail.
Yes, the second half.
She had all this sass. Next question. Like, sis. And for me, the loyalty, I mean, if you're in love, we've all been crazy and in love and done weird things for love, but you don't throw your parents under the bus. She said that her father tried to leak her nudes and
that they're trying to extort money. And I think my personal thought when it comes to these two women, I think he definitely has a hold on their mind, or them all together. It may not be just him, like, oh, come here, but they're in their minds, they think that he is it. He is the bee's knees. Definitely. He is everything, and they have to fight to save him.
Yeah.
And that's by being this pit bull for him at all times. That's their way of trying to prove to him, like, see, I'm great. See, I love you. See, don't let me go. See, don't be mad at me. See this. And at this point, there is nothing anybody can say to these two girls at this point.
Leave them alone.
There is nothing.
I don't see them. I do think that they're in a toxic situation. I do think that they should want better for their lives than to be co-girlfriends to some old ass man. But at this point, where do you draw the line between choices and, I mean, what is the suggestion if we keep focusing on these women? What are we to do about it?
Right.
I mean, just as a community, even just speaking from a parental standpoint, what are her parents to do they supposed to kidnap them back and then lock them away for 6 months and reprogram them? There's nothing you can really do. They've made their choice.
And they are adults at this point. They're young adults.
Yeah.
But now they're not 17-year-old girls anymore. They're 21 and 23. So now,
then the parents have to take responsibility for. I mean,
they
if I had a
should have let R.
year-old,
Kelly's ass
R. Kelly
nowhere
couldn't
near
even know exactly where my child was.
So they are to blame as well.
They gave him access.
They did.
You talking about, because I was on top of it. Azriel wanted to be a singer. We don't believe you, Azriel. Shut the fuck up.
Yeah, so I never wanted to be a singer.
She was a beautiful singer. You make no sense. Like, you should have practiced that line a little better. She's very polished in terms of.
Oh yeah, and then did you notice their outfits? They were not age appropriate. They looked like presidential candidates in their outfits. So I think that was all strategic. He made them bitches lay that shit out before they even went out there. Like, this is what you're gonna wear. They had a dream team to pick their outfits so that they can look a specific way to the public.
It's like this. I watch a lot of crime shows, right? So you have situations where a man is a fucking lunatic and he wants to go and abduct girls, or he wants to go on a killing spree, and then he grabs his boo and she goes for the ride on some natural born killer shit. And then
Right.
when they get caught, what does the girl say? Oh, well, I was afraid for my life. But when you stop at the gas station, you got some Slim Jims. Why didn't you scream out?
Mm-hmm.
And we hold those women legally accountable for being an accomplice, pulling triggers.
Yeah.
Even though the man supposedly was the aggressor, you have every opportunity in this case to say, you know what, now I'm out of the studio dungeon.
Yeah.
Hell, I don't want to go back with him.
They're
I
not
haven't
in that
eaten
space
it.
yet. That
Okay,
mental
well then,
space.
as far as them, fuck them. They're of age,
Yeah.
and they are whatever. Even if it's manipulation, they too far gone.
They
And-
are. I think as a parent, though, even though they do need to just let them be for now, I'm sure it is very difficult as a mother to know that your child is in a situation that you do not want for them. But
That's why
they
you don't put your 17-year-old around R. Kelly.
Yeah, that is right. They need to take responsibility that they set this up. Like
There was nothing legally they could have done.
right, and still
at
can't.
17. They
They
couldn't-
still can't do
At
anything.
17, when they was 6 months in, you hear some of these girls from the documentary saying, "Oh, and when I was 16, I was with R. Kelly for 6 months." How the fuck you was with R. Kelly? Where was your mother? Where was your mother?
Yeah.
The one mom that had the daughter, Dominique, I think her name was.
Yes, the one he turned into
She
a boy.
seemed like she tried to go after her daughter, and I know there's some victim of sex trafficking in
Right.
this city, in New York City, where their parents are trying to get them and know exactly what house the pimp is keeping them in.
Yeah.
And the cops don't do anything, and these are 14-year-old girls, and the parents are just like, please just go get my child out of there. And they're like, we can't go in there, it's private property.
Yeah.
And you know, so there are some issues there with being able to do something, but
But we also know that, like we said, the mental hold is the mind is such a strong thing, and we see it even with sometimes we see with the pimps and the young
Yeah.
girls. No matter how, and these men hit them, abuse them, treat them like crap, take their money, but yet they still want to
Zaddy.
defend. Right? They still want to defend. That is a mind thing, and when you are mentally in whatever prison that these girls are in, they have to snap out of it. There is nothing. You can cry, you can plead, you can say the amount of I love yous, you can say all of this, but
it's like a drug.
right, if he's saying say this, make sure you say this, your parent, and he's probably out there treating them like crap, like all your parents want, you see what they doing to me, you see what they doing to me, they want money from me, they're trying to extort me, they're trying to this. It's the same way I heard somebody reference it, like when your kids are young and you tell them about the tooth fairy and this, and you keep telling them the tooth fairy, they're gonna believe that because
I don't
that's
wanna
what they're always
compare.
been told.
I don't want, and I know that I agree with the pimp comparison, and that pimps have this psychological hold on their property.
And I think that's what he has.
But I want to give the female mind more credit than that, than to not compare it to a child with a tooth fairy. Children don't know much about the world, so, and when you're 5 years old, anything is possible. Santa is possible. But when you're 17,
you don't know much about the world either, though.
you don't. But to the point where, someone who is, these girls had to be severely damaged beforehand. Azriel has said, her parents have said that she was suicidal before she even got with him. So what was wrong with her? And I think he just picked up 2 damaged
And that's what he
pieces of
preys
property.
on. He preys
Yeah.
on damaged young girls.
So I just want to empower other women who know that we just would not stand for it. And I think it's fine for you to say that. And people want to say like, oh, well, you never know. Which I know good and goddamn well. At 17, I would not have smashed R. Kelly in a hotel to sing.
But then that's what I'm saying. Like, he knows who to prey on.
Yeah.
He knows who to go after.
Mhm.
And these girls, he knew that he could turn their minds into mush, which is pretty much what it is now. Because even, like, during the interview, Gail pointed out that even when she was interviewing the girls, R. Kelly was behind them, and he kept, like, he would cough,
Making
like,
his
do a,
presence known,
yeah,
like,
to make them know, like, I'm here, watch your
Okay,
mouth.
well,
And they
I
kept
mean-
saying, like, oh, should I stop this? And he kept asking, like, should I stop this to other people? So,
who was he at?
is there, I don't know. She
Isn't
said
he the one?
She said it was like I don't know if it was the makeup, the photographer, something
Yeah.
that he was talking to. Because I think he was even conflicted, like, that side of him that feels like he has to have control.
It's probably the fear of like
It's the fear and
they're
it's the
one
control.
word away from saying the wrong thing.
Right. It's that control feeling. Like he has to control the situation. I'm sure his lawyer told him that this was a badass idea. There is no way they
I don't
told
think it was
him
a bad idea
to
because
do this interview.
for me, yeah, I don't feel like this went badly for him.
What?
In terms of public opinion, I don't, and here's why. Because for me, I really was thinking that these bitches was locked up in something, and if you got 5 minutes with them, because remember before, the father insinuated that Joycelyn was being interviewed, and you could see the shadow doing like this. This time, I don't believe Gayle is going to go for that. So they were, even though he was nearby coughing, they have convinced me individually that they don't need my help or my sympathy or anything like that. So I'm done with them. So we were concerned about them, Azriel in particular, coming off of the documentary. I'm not concerned about her anymore. I feel like she's fine.
I still have a concern because I don't think
Really?
she's not fine.
Oh
They're
my
not
God.
fine. And to their minds, they think they're great because they're still in that mind state. But
Okay.
these girls are not
So,
fine. When they come out of
Charles
it,
Manson
they are
and
going to
his-
be fucked
his
up.
flower children that went and murked pregnant people.
Yeah.
You felt sorry for those women?
None of them were in their right. What they did was fucked up and they deserved whatever they got.
Yeah.
But they were warped in their minds. I don't think that it's just
So
him
is
that
he
did
then?
it.
So why don't we feel sorry for him? He's warped in his mind too. Charles Manson and R. Kelly, like
Because they're sick. I don't feel sorry for R. Kelly.
he's sick, and the girl. I don't feel sorry for him. Don't even.
Yeah,
I don't
I'm
feel
like-
sorry for him.
yeah, I'm like,
but I don't feel sorry for
him.
them either. If they were 16, 17, I would say, oh my gosh, they don't know what they're saying. They're 20 something years old.
If they're 20-something years old and then they go out and start recruiting 14-year-olds, like, come on, and then they end up in jail, I just be like, listen, that's what you end up doing.
You don't
go
think
to
they've done
jail.
things with underage girls?
Of course, and it's disgusting. But like I said, I don't feel sorry for what is going on, with them. I feel sorry for the fact that they are just so gone in their head that they think that this shit is okay. That's
I
my
feel the same
take.
thing when I watch Sister Wives. Like, what's wrong with you?
Right.
What's wrong with you?
Like-
why would you want to be a wife to someone who has 4 other wives? Why would you want to do that? Culturally, there are some cultures that do that. Who are we to say that they are fucked up?
I think they're terrified of that man. I don't
They
believe
probably
that they're
are.
just so happy and it's go lucky. They are terrified of him. And for a man to be able, you're sitting here doing an interview and he has to stand behind you and pretend to be coughing and you straighten up and make sure your answers are precise. Their answers were too rehearsed. Azriel was too turned to try and
She
make
was
sure that
extremely
she was
turned.
saying the right, the correct things,
She directed
and she shut
all
things down.
of
She's like,
her-
I'm not here to talk about my personal life, and I'm sure you, as a woman, that's something you were 21
I
years
feel
old.
like Gayle could have roasted her a little more. Like,
she
so what
probably
are you
could
here
have.
to talk about? Your singing career, or you don't want to sing? So what do you want to do?
Mhm.
You want to do nothing? You tell me what you want to say.
Right.
Let's let her go, and she probably would have tripped up.
She would have, because that's not what they rehearsed.
Exactly.
He probably sat in front of them like, I'm Gayle.
Right. So if it's like, I'm not even saying nothing. Azriel, you got it.
Yes, as soon as she
You got the
started,
floor. I went
she
to
said
the
the
rock
wrong
that,
thing. He was
like-
like, no, that's not what you say.
Right.
So that's what she probably had in her head when she was saying that she had that hand of R. Kelly still in her head. Like, no,
I
this is not
think-
how it was rehearsed.
I think that they have some perks in their lifestyle, and it's all worth it to them. I think they, every time you see Joycelyn, she's very nicely dressed, weave flowing.
I think that's
I
given
think that
to them
she's
at the
kept.
right times.
Why do you think that? Why do you think that she?
I don't
is
think she's
in
in a
there looking
dungeon.
like Celie and sweeping the house
No,
like
I definitely
Cinderella?
don't think she's in a dungeon. But all those things of them keeping them in a room. Every time we've seen them girls, they've been in a room. They've been in a room away from
when
people.
her and Dominique were alone in LA, that's how they ran up on her.
They were in a room.
They walked up in there though, and they did an interview on the street.
They did the interview on the street because they were being moved. They were in transition.
Weren't they like shopping?
No, they weren't. They weren't by them. They were never just unaccompanied. When they were in that hotel room, they were supposed to stay in that hotel room. That's why when the
Did
mother
they say
came
all
in
of that,
there,
or was that just?
when you saw the mother come up in there, Dominique was like, okay, just like she was talking real low.
Because
And
the
then-
other one was in there,
Right.
and I think that
They know better.
They do know better, and I think he has rules. And what is Dominique's life going to be like now? So when she was with him, she didn't really have to work, right? She
turned him. He turned her into a whole.
very strange.
other
I'm not saying
side.
yes, very strange. But what is she doing now? Is her mom coming home to the apartment, and saying, I'm going to stress apartment from the house that she might have lived in before?
What
and
life
saying,
would you rather?
Okay, so
your life with R. Kelly or living in your apartment with your mom?
But I'm a normal woman. Of course, I don't want to live with R. Kelly.
Okay, so then why would
But
she
let
want
me
the
finish.
same thing?
If you were living in a house, you didn't have to work. Yeah, there were some downsides. To
I
it.
don't eat for 3 days.
We don't know that if she wasn't eating for 3 days. We don't.
Tiffany,
you can sit here and say that.
Do you
know.
really believe all them girls were sitting there lying about not eating?
I don't think all of them were lying, but we cannot assume that every girl that he has is starving. I'm saying that now that she's home 3 weeks later, how do you know mommy's not coming home? Like, all right, so what you about to do? Like, you about to fill out some applications, and like, what are you gonna do with your life? That's scary for some people who aren't up for the challenge. Mm-hmm. And it's like, okay, I'm just gonna go back to him because I don't know.
And she did. She went back to him for like 3 days.
He probably was like, nah, bitch, you already done.
I think he treated her like crap.
He probably turned her away. Like, he probably turned her away. The other one in the thing, she was like, when she was the one that said that she got to the airport, and she was like, he would have called me, I would have ran back.
Oh yeah.
I think that he was like, no, you left. That's on you. Goodbye. I don't want it to be misconstrued in saying that, oh, I think it's all normal in there. I think that he is a controlling weirdo. But I think there are reasons beyond just, I'm being mind controlled. I think there are perks.
I think that's with any abuser.
I think they don't want to go out on their own.
When people are abused,
I don't think they want to, face the music on some of the things that they've done.
They're scared.
Yeah, definitely.
I think there's definitely some type of perks, because even though he's a predator and an abuser, he knows how to finesse it. Like, we all agree that R. Kelly ain't the brightest, bulb in the bunch. Mm-hmm. But we know that usually those type of people know how to finesse things in other ways. R. Kelly couldn't read. R. Kelly really couldn't do much finances on himself. Did we know that if he hadn't have said that? No, because he knows how to finesse shit. R. Kelly's musically, some people have compared him to a musical genius, if they want to say that. So he definitely knows what to do to make sure he gives and takes. But he knows how to instill that fear in them to where they not going to go no fucking way.
In a lot of toxic relationships, you have a man beating a woman's ass. And it's like, why do you stay? The answer can be, oh, I'm so broken down mentally. But it can also be like, look, I'm not trying to be by myself. I'm not trying to be by myself. He could be beating my ass.
That's because it's scary.
It is scary. And that's all I'm saying is not that I'm saying that it's also they are benefiting somewut from it.
Yeah, I don't think it's
emotionally, financially,
but
in terms of
security. Because they don't know a difference. They've been with him for so long, they don't know a different side. That's like when you say people who have been in abusive relationships. Mm-hmm. That's all they know until they get somebody who does treat them right, and you're like, I didn't even know this could be like this. So
it's your damn self. Be at peace with yourself, and I don't think that these girls are able to do that. And I think that's why they stay. It's like, what am I going to do? I've been doing this for so long.
Because even the part where they allowed them to, or I think it was Joycelyn's family that got on the phone with her, and it was a little girl. I don't know if it was her sister or cousin or who it was, but she just kept saying, she was like, I love you. And she was like, there was like a pause there. And then she was like, I got to go now. Like, she got off the phone real quick. So I think the whole situation is crazy. The interview, I think, was a horrible idea because R. Kelly made himself look crazy. All that, look at me, look, is this camera out?
He already was looking crazy. I don't think he looks more crazy.
Oh, I think he's manic now. I think he's unraveling, quite honestly.
And I think that I didn't see it as it being bad. Like I said, I feel like I felt more. My focus is not those two women. And I know they can't talk about what they have against him, but I feel like there are teenage girls involved.
Oh, yeah, definitely. I think they were just a spokesperson.
I want to know about the crimes against teenage girls, not these two girls, women. I want to know about the crimes against the girls. We already know that he sexually abused the girl from the old video from 2002.
And we know the Aaliyah stuff.
We can pretty much we don't know that, but we have pretty good. We can pretty much surmise that he was inappropriate with R. Kelly.
And they showed marriage certificates. So I think.
But people can always, that's not the same thing as video. but we have video of him
Yeah.
engaging sexually with a girl, and he's still walking around
And
free.
she was young.
So I'm more concerned about that girl is probably a grown woman by now, and she probably still talks to him. But I'm concerned about 14-year-old her. I feel sorry for that girl because that girl didn't know what she was doing.
I think we all. I think this was just a base for them to just say, see, this is the man that some of you people are still protecting.
Yeah.
I think that's what it is. I don't even think the focus was on just these girls. I think they were just there for us to talk to, because we can't talk to the younger girls. We can't talk to the people who they might have on video now. I think this was just a base so that they can say, and I think he probably wanted this to happen. He arranged for this interview. I don't think this was something, you know, that his publicist was like, you know, it would be great. You should do an interview. This was all him and his warped mind.
Not saying anything.
Yeah.
Think about K. Michelle when she spoke about Memphis. He was quiet, and it only got worse and worse and worse for him.
Yeah.
It probably
R. Kelly is not good at interviews.
He's not.
Ever.
Um,
Every interview he has made himself sound like a damn
But it depends on what
fool.
side you're on. If you're on the side of like, oh, and there is, I feel like, a trend where there's more scrutiny on black entertainers that are doing dirt. We haven't seen a Harvey Weinstein documentary yet. I want to see that.
I don't feel like that. I've been seeing people say that oh, I want to see this documentary
Michael
on
Jackson,
this white person, this
Bill
person.
Cosby is in jail now.
But look at all this Roman
and R. Kelly?
Polanski.
What did he go through?
Weinstein. He dipped. So if they would have left, it would have been the same situation. I think what it is the type of media that we subscribe to mostly, or a lot of, you know, people go to like the Shade Room and this and the that and the. I do think white people.
Bill
Harvey
Cosby?
Weinstein he has had charges brought against him. They're
He's
not
had
letting
charges,
him
but
off.
where's the documentary? Documentaries move people.
They have documentaries on other ones. What's his face? The one who married his daughter. His adoptive. What was his name? That was married to Mia Farrow.
I don't know.
He was a movie director.
No idea.
It's gonna bother me.
Well, you feel like they've put the same effort into white predators as they are doing. So these people are predators. I'm not saying that they shouldn't have make more documentaries about some white people.
I think they need to be brought all around. I don't think it should just be white people need it too. I think there will never be a point where I'll say that, you know, just because they're black that we're just doing it on them.
I believe that there's a whole child abuse ring in Hollywood.
Definitely. I definitely agree with that. But I don't think that we should say that, you know, I'm waiting for the white people's version of it.
Why
like,
not?
Because it's there. They do have them.
And it's not
Oh, they
promoted as
definitely
heavily
have.
as these are.
There's definitely documentaries because I've watched some. So there are definitely documentaries out there on the white ones.
Who?
I'm trying to remember his name now. What's his fucking name? I'm gonna tell you right now.
I definitely think that I'm not saying that R. Kelly should not be scrutinized. I'm just saying that I do think that there's extra effort to dismantle the legacies of the men that are black. I believe that, and I just want to. If it's all, it should be all encompassing. I think there are worse people out here that are probably if whispering in the Hollywood Hills, you know, and they'll probably tell you all about it. Oh yeah, we know he ain't right. We see little boys coming in and out of his house. I just want to see some documentaries on those well-known secrets. Not defending R. Kelly at all. I think he's a disgusting human being. I feel like you have to say that 80 times. People lack comprehension. I am not Team R. Kelly. I don't listen to his music. I just want to see some equality in terms of bringing down all the pervs in the entertainment industry and beyond. The police department.
Woody Allen.
Woody Allen?
Yes.
I don't know anything about him doing anything.
Yeah, Woody Allen, they have said about him and his relationship with younger people. They've also brought up, what was the
What's the
one
name
back
of the
in the day? I'm going to look it up.
And was it advertised? Like, gotta catch.
Back in the day, but
Booties
I mean
got bored.
now it hasn't been because we don't have social media back then. But there have been other documentaries.
But
I'm
right
gonna see
now,
if I can find a whole
within
list
months
for y'all.
of one another, there's finding our surviving R. Kelly,
Right.
and leaving Neverland. Michael Jackson is deceased.
Right, but
We're
that's,
uncovering this so that he can stop molesting boys because he's dead.
okay. Michael Jackson aside, we all agree that that one is.
So what do you think the purpose of it is?
Of what, Michael Jackson's?
Yeah.
Because his accusers feel like they have something to say. This is not the first time
But
they've said things about
In
Michael
entertainment,
Jackson.
a person can't just get up and
I
make
don't
a
think
whole
it's because he's
documentary.
black.
They need
I
backing.
think it's
They need
because he's Michael
financiers.
Jackson. I don't think it has anything to do with the fact that Michael Jackson is black. I don't
Remember
think
the
so.
Coreys came out and they were talking about all the niggas that raped them? The Coreys from
Yeah.
the 90s? People were like, oh, and they just moved on.
Right.
You think Bill Cosby wasn't in parties with white men that are well known?
They're all
Slipping Mickeys and stuff?
Of course. But it's up to them to come out and say something. The victims, the same way his victims came out and said something.
People been accusing Bill Cosby forever.
That's
It
now
was
his
about-
victims are coming out.
They've been coming out.
But he's been
the media
silencing
took
them.
it. No, the media said, now we're listening. We're going to put we pay
No, it's
attention
the
to
same
what
way-
TV tells us to pay attention
But then
to.
we're saying it's black people, but R. Kelly's been getting
I
away
didn't-
with this shit for decades. So it's
chill-
not that
and
they're
you know
just
why he's
now
not
getting
anymore?
on
Because
him.
we always knew he was nasty. We didn't care until the media said, hey, care about this now.
I don't think that's what it is.
What do you think it is?
I think we've
we
always
watched
cared
him,
about it.
We watched him rape a little girl. I didn't watch it. But it was out there. It was on Jamaica Avenue.
I think it's
and
because
he was walking free, and I still listen to the Chocolate Factory after.
But that's because if he wasn't who he was in that moment of R. Kelly's greatness, do you really think he would have got off on 14 counts of that as a black man? He got off on 14 counts
There's
of child
a
pornography.
legal aspect of it. He got off because the victim would not cooperate.
No, he got off because he was R. Kelly and his music label was pushing it, and they were not going to let that happen.
And you think that they imposed on the
definitely-
jury who was really in charge.
Definitely. The same way.
Not because the victim wouldn't say yes. That
Definitely had a part in it, of course. And the fact that they were saying that. But jurors saw that with their own eyes.
They did.
So regardless
But
of
they
what
couldn't-
she
they
said,
couldn't prove that it was
that was
her.
proof.
But if you can't really, some people you have to prove things. You can't just say, oh, well, she looks 11.
Even if they could say the victim was shell shocked. They could say that she's up there and
My
she's
point
just
is
saying
this.
that.
There's court, and then there's the court of public opinion. In the court of public opinion, after people saw, it was well known. Dave Chappelle had skits about it. There was no question in anyone's heart and mind that was him on that tape.
Right.
And we still listen to his music.
But he still got
and
off.
now
And he was a black
he
man.
got off, but we still knew that he did that.
But what we're trying to say is that they're saying that they're doing this because he's a black man.
No, I don't. That's not even what I'm saying.
But they're saying it's because black men. I want to see the white version of this. I want to see that, and they're saying that
I do want to see that. I think there's enough material,
and they're prosecuting him because he is a black man. Is what people are saying. Is that it's the hypeness surrounding his downfall is because he's a black man.
And you don't think that's true at all?
It's because he's a pedophile. That's
he is a pedophile, but there's lots out here.
There is, but he's still one.
He's
and
one.
he still should
and he's
get
going
the full
down.
extent.
Great, go down, R. Kelly.
And I
Bye.
think there should be whatever amount of videos, whatever amount of documentaries, whatever
I'm
amount
not saying
of
there shouldn't be a documentary about him. I'm just saying that I need some others to go to jail too. I need somebody.
I definitely feel they all need to go to jail. White, black, Spanish, Asian.
I want a
all
whole
of them
documentary
need to go to jail
about what they did, and I'm sure there's lots of material. There's well-known pedophiles in Hollywood. I want a documentary on that because I know that they have the material, but they would
and they
never
do have
that.
documentaries. I don't know all the names of them, but they do have them out there because I've actually seen somebody say the same thing that I'm saying, and they actually posted it. So I don't know if I can find it. Maybe I'll post it if I do find it. But they are out there, and they have said things about these men out here in Hollywood.
I didn't say they haven't said anything. I'm just feeling like the dismantling of their whole body of work is a priority. Mute R. Kelly. Woody Allen is a prominent. I didn't know anything that you said about. When I always hear about Woody Allen, this is just me. Maybe anyone else's experience is different. He is known as a genius, a great mind in terms of films.
But I think they say that about R. Kelly as well, as far as music. But his career after that has tanked. And I think a lot of these people have tanked. Even with Harvey Weinstein, they've kicked him off of boards. They've kicked him off of, he's no longer, he holds whatever titles he's held. Those have been stripped away from him.
From Woody Allen?
No, the Harvey is it Weinstein or Weinstein?
Weinstein.
Yes, a lot of his.
Why hasn't Oprah? She hasn't done a special on him, but she did one on Michael Jackson.
Well, that's Oprah's issue. That I don't think that has anything to do with everybody else. I think that was very crazy for her to do that documentary in the first place. That's just my opinion. Other people are okay with her doing it. I don't think she should have did it. But back to R. Kelly and his BS. The interview was a mess. The way he was acting in the interview was a hot mess. Him jumping up every 2 seconds, and the screaming, and the sweating, and the fake tears, and the country accent that got real thick, like he was some kind of, runaway slave voice that he kept doing. It was just ridiculous, the whole interview, in my opinion, and he shouldn't have did it. The girls were way too rehearsed.
If he didn't do it, it would have been bad. If he did do it, it's bad. His life is one big shit sandwich right now. Yeah. Rightfully so. He can do no right.
And then the fact that he kept trying to blame everybody else for this. Everybody else is causing his demise. Everybody else is doing this to him. I don't get about him and Michael Jackson.
If you feel like there's this big conspiracy to accuse you of these depraved acts, stop having little boys in your house. That will probably help your cause. Stop recruiting 19-year-old women to come and kick it with you. Even if you feel like, I'm not holding them, I'm not. Why even bother if they're using your vice as a tool against you?
Right. He's talking about, I need to stop having such a big heart because I keep forgiving people. Like, R. Kelly, please, miss me with that shit. Okay, if you felt like your heart was so big and it's everyone else who's against you, like she said, stop bringing these young girls into your life.
Rock out with the Jocelyn's and the Azriels, and I'm sure he has a couple. They talk about this
publicly. He just had some other little 19-year-old girl.
The one that's accusing him of giving her herpes and suing him.
So
yeah,
please.
She was 19 at the time.
Right, she was
and
19.
He keeps getting new ones that he keeps messing with over the years
to put out in the
public. He had the one that they call like his trainer that I guess has been with him the longest and teaches the new women how to please him.
I thought that was Joycelyn.
No, this girl was old from like.
I thought it was Joycelyn. That's the recruiter, or the one who teaches them. Yeah.
I didn't hear that. You're the first person I heard that from. It's possible.
I thought
it was someone who's been there before her.
Oh,
from
no,
like the 90s.
I thought it was her. I could be wrong.
It's been with him for 15 years. It was some long period of time that they said that comes in and teaches them how to please.
Like, I'm sure he has people on his camp that do
rock
that.
out with those chicks. Why do you keep keep on getting greedy and
that's
keep
how you
doing
know
what you're doing?
He's sick. That's how you know it's something.
If
you can't
really,
just stop.
I actually think, and this is just my opinion, I think Michael Jackson probably had inappropriate dealings with little boys. I'm not defending him. Just because, why would you have little boys in your bed? He admitted he had little boys. We're not talking about Michael right now, but I'm just saying R. Kelly. You keep on filming yourself having sex with women, even after you got caught in 2002. So you just have this compulsion where you're just not normal. You can't stop. You're addicted.
Right.
You're weirdo. True. You can't cut it out.
Because it is something that if you keep getting caught up in it and it keeps costing you money and time and grief.
It could be chicken wings.
Going to jail.
If chicken wings keep getting me locked up and in trouble.
Right.
I'm like, you know what? As much as I like them.
Damn the chicken wings.
I'm not even going to fuck with that.
Right. I see a chicken wing, I'm going this way.
Exactly. Like, don't even bring that shit up in my presence when they say,
so you see a young child, she want an autograph, you be like, hey.
No. Have one of your people hand her a pre-signed
Where's
shit.
your mommy?
Stay away
I will
from
give
me.
her a signature and she will
Ain't
give
no where's
it
your
to
mommy?
you.
It's like, nah, bitch, get away from me. This is a set up. This is a set up. Like, I'm not even going to talk.
Just put out your camera phone like, what do you want? Like, you should be very protective of you, yourself, your brand.
Yeah.
And that's your issue.
You should have like 10 people around you to make sure, like, I need ID. You cannot cross this 5-foot radius unless I see that you're at least 25.
Right. But that Azriel and Jocelyn, boy, they was standing up for their mind, for their man. They was making sure they ate good that night.
He needs to go to jail because he's never going to leave little girls alone.
Yeah, I do think
the 15, 16-year-olds, he's never going to leave them alone.
Whatever they have on him, I think is going to get him some jail time now. Something is going to stick.
Yeah.
At this point, and I do think it needs to happen. People are saying they don't think jail is what he needs. He needs a psych ward. He needs this.
Why? Why are you trying to save him from jail? If he's raping 14-year-old girls,
he needs to be in jail.
He needs to go to jail. That's a crime. What's wrong with people? Are so like protective of. I don't think they really think it's such a big deal to have sex with a 14-year-old and you're 50. I don't think people really think it's such a big deal. Same thing with domestic violence. People think, well, let's not get him locked up.
Right.
Why not? If he's out here doing these and filming it, that's child porn.
It's inappropriate. What is wrong with you people?
He needs to go to jail.
All you people still out here supporting him too. Like, I'm side-eyeing you as well. I am. Regardless of what music, what song. If you even start humming it, you should be like, I'm not doing it.
I can't.
Not doing it.
And I have to say that Surviving R. Kelly was very. I was listening to music before that just because when it was really when TMZ and all of them started really using this word sex cult, and it was like, yeah, I can't listen to your body's calling if you got a sex cult. That just doesn't sit right.
And now like she said, the documentary, finding out that a lot of these songs were about these young girls.
Yeah.
Oh.
It's a lot.
No. So.
What?
I think even though we may have differences on our views, I think we both agree that R. Kelly is trash.
For the record, the only difference that I have is that I feel like a black man can go down. Criminals. These are criminals. I'm not saying they're not. I'm saying that if you have a black criminal and a white criminal, this one is gonna. This is statistics.
That I agree.
I got weed, you got cocaine, you get probation, I get 10 years in jail.
That I definitely
So
agree
I feel like a black man can go down so much harder for the same shit than a white man can do it. Slap on the wrist, go be great.
Yeah, that's statistic. That was a feather. I don't know where the feather came from. But no, I do agree with that. That when it comes to
that's
the criminal,
my only point.
Lying that black men or black people in general.
Yeah,
we don't
the court
get the
of public
same.
opinion.
Yeah, so
and the actual judicial system is more penalizing to black people. That's all I'm saying. I still think that Bill Cosby, Michael Jackson, and R. Kelly are criminals and they're sexual deviants. I believe that. I can't. R. Kelly can prove. I mean, it was a tape. But we don't have any tape on Michael Jackson, so it's just my opinion. Yeah. And we don't have any tape on Bill Cosby. I just feel like it's likely that he is a pervert who likes to drug women. I believe that. Mm-hmm. But I just feel like that's the only difference. I'm not saying, oh, leave him alone. No. Mm-hmm. To be clear, I feel like these days with the internet, people just, what you trying? You feel like you speak plain fucking English, and people still get in the comments and say that you said something else. So let's be clear. That's the difference that we have. Is that. I don't want to speak for you, but it seems like you feel like that everybody gets their fair shake. So if you're a white pedophile, you'll get exposed the same. I don't feel that. Okay. What I feel is people who are saying, I'm not watching that because let me get that.
I'm watching it. But people in the comments who are like, no, I'm not watching that. Let me see the white version of it. Like that to me. Like she
I'm
said,
watching it, and I want to see the white. I'm watching it all. Give it all
That's
to
what
me.
I'm saying. All they asses need to be in jail.
Yes.
White, black, everyone.
Yes.
All of them need a special HBO special, Showtime, CBS, MTV, BET. All of them need a special to air out their dirty laundry because it is a sick thing. And for young people and adults and parents who have
I'm going to go find your shit, Woody Allen, when I get home. I'm watching that shit. All right?
Like, you all are sick ass men.
Yes.
And that's all. That's how we're gonna end it.
So it sounds like we're on the same page. As it turns out.
At the end of the day.
Exactly.
Anyway, but that was our conversation on the R. Kelly. Another portion is gonna air tomorrow. Well, Friday night, at 8 p.m.
Yes.
they're going to air, I think, an hour special. They said to show clips, I guess, that we didn't see. And pretty much, I guess, just tie it all together with R. Kelly and the girls and whatever else. So I'll be watching. I don't know if we're going to talk about a whole nother video about it. Maybe we'll add it in Cyber Monday.
Yeah.
We don't know.
I'm here for the trial. Let's get to the trial.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Let's get to that part of it. So again, thanks for joining us to talk about the R. Kelly CBS with Gayle talking about R. Kelly and his weirdo self. So thanks for joining us again. See you guys later.